Ever had a quirky thought about how criticism can be your secret superpower? And let's dive into it. So, criticism is like this wild chameleon. It changes colors and has made itself a comfy home in our lives. It's this massive wave that can get us surfing or wipe us out, depending on how we react. But let's make one thing clear. Criticism isn't just a or villain. It's more like a gadget, kind of like Batman's utility belt. And just like any gadget, its true power about how we put it to use. Imagine criticism as a lightning bolt with two ends. One end, it can zap away any ignorance or laziness, creating this electrifying hunger for growth and progress. This type of criticism is constructive, the kind that unveils what we've been blind to and digs up the treasure chest of opportunities for now. Switch the end and you'll see the other end of the bolt, destructive criticism. This type, it's like a tornado, just whisking away self-confidence and leaving behind nothing but a storm of uncertainty and insecurity. It's the criticism that doesn't give us a boost. Rather, it pulls the rug from under our feet. Constructive criticism is a friendly robot, guiding us to a brighter future. It's not about zooming in on what's wrong for the sake of it, but about offering solutions in better ways. This wrapped in a gift box of empathy and respect, and that's what we should be eager to offer and accept. On the other hand, destructive criticism, it usually pops up from misunderstandings or mean spirits. It's like comic book villain causing havoc. It's not about being a problem solver, but only about spotlighting the flaws. It's the type that, feeling like a deflated party balloon, emptied of any drive, you're standing in the ring with criticism. Take a moment to really analyze it. Is it offering a boost to your superpowers, or a destructive, just a kryptonite waiting to weaken you? Remember, criticism is like a spicy salsa. It can add a kick to your life or set your tongue on fire. It's all about how you handle it. So, gear up and remember, criticism is your secret superpower. Consider John Doe, a man who faced criticism throughout his life. John was no stranger to the harsh judgments of others, both in his personal and professional life. Raised in a family where criticism was often used as a tool of communication, he grew accustomed to a constant barrage of negative commentary. Despite his best efforts, these criticisms often left him feeling inadequate and unsure of himself. In his early career, John was a dedicated and ambitious employee, always striving to excel in his work. However, as he climbed the corporate ladder, the criticisms became more intense. His colleagues questioned his decisions, his superiors doubted his capabilities, and even his subordinates whispered behind his back. This constant scrutiny took a toll on his self-esteem, causing him to second-guess his abilities and decisions. His work performance suffered, and he found himself trapped in a vicious cycle of self-doubt and declining productivity. But John was not one to give up easily. He realized that he could not control the opinions of others, but he could control how he reacted to them. He began to approach criticism with a new perspective. Instead of letting it shake his confidence, he used it as a tool for self-improvement. He started to analyze the feedback he received, separating the constructive criticism from the baseless negativity. When faced with false criticisms, he learned to ignore them. He understood that not all criticism is rooted in truth. Sometimes people project their own insecurities onto others, and he refused to let these projections define him. When he encountered unfair criticism, he refused to let it upset him. He recognized that life is not always fair, and that criticism can often be skewed by personal biases. Instead of getting defensive, he chose to rise above it. When he was on the receiving end of uninformed criticism, he responded with a smile. He realized that people often criticize what they don't understand. Rather than letting it frustrate him, He saw it as an opportunity to educate and inform. But most importantly, when he faced valid criticism, he did not see it as a personal attack. Instead, he viewed it as an opportunity to learn and grow. He took the feedback on board, used it to improve his skills, and thanked those who offered it for helping him become better. Over time, John's approach to handling criticism transformed his life. No longer did he let the opinions of others dictate his self-worth. Instead, he used criticism as a stepping stone towards self-improvement and personal growth. He became a stronger, more resilient individual, respected by his peers and admired for his ability to handle criticism with grace and positivity. John Doe's story shows us that it's not the criticism itself, but how we react to it that truly matters. His journey serves as a reminder that criticism, when approached with the right mindset, can be a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. When facing false criticism, what do you do? It's a question that can stir up a whirlwind of emotions and responses. Yet, the answer is surprisingly simple. You ignore it. False criticism is often a projection of the critic's own insecurities and shortcomings, a reflection of their inner turmoil, rather than an accurate appraisal of your actions or character. It's important to recognize this and not let it shake your confidence or influence your decisions. Trust in your own judgment. You know yourself better than anyone else. There's a saying, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Don't give that consent. Don't let false criticism sway you. It's not easy. Indeed, it takes a lot of strength to stand firm in the face of baseless accusations or unwarranted negativity. But remember, you are stronger than you think. Remember, false criticism says more about the critic than about you. Unfair and uninformed criticism can be challenging to deal with. It's like grappling with a phantom and an antagonist based on misconception. But let's not let that intimidate us. Instead, let's explore how to handle such criticism with grace and poise. When we encounter unfair criticism, it's essential to remember that the criticism is often a reflection of the critic's personal biases or frustrations, and not an accurate assessment of your worth or abilities. It's like a distorted mirror, reflecting more about the viewer than the object in view. So, instead of getting upset or defensive, try to approach it with understanding and patience. Ask yourself, what might be influencing this person's perspective? This way, you can maintain your own emotional balance and avoid unnecessary stress. Now, let's talk about uninformed criticism. This is criticism that stems from a lack of understanding or misinformation about the subject at hand. It's like a person trying to teach you how to swim when they themselves have never stepped foot in water. Again, it's important not to let such criticism rattle your confidence. Instead, smile, not out of mockery, but as a gentle reminder to yourself that their critique is based on incomplete information. If it's appropriate and you feel inclined, you could even take the opportunity to educate them. But remember, it's not your responsibility to correct every uninformed critic. Sometimes it's better to simply let it go and focus on your own growth and development. Your energy is precious, and it's important to use it wisely. So, the next time you encounter unfair or uninformed criticism, remember to stay patient, maintain your positivity, and keep your focus on what truly matters, your own journey and development. Let the criticism flow past you like water off a duck's back. Always remember, unfair and uninformed criticism is a reflection of the critic's perspective, not your value. What if the criticism is valid? Now, there's a question that can make us shift uncomfortably in our seats, but it doesn't have to. Yeah, you see, valid criticism, the kind that's grounded in truth and delivered with care, is not a jab to your ego. No, it's a gift, a precious opportunity for personal growth and learning. When we're open to valid criticism, we unlock a powerful tool for self-improvement. It's like having a compass in an unfamiliar landscape. guiding us towards our true north. It's a mirror that reflects the areas we need to work on, the habits we need to change, the skills we need to polish. So the next time someone offers valid criticism, don't shy away, embrace it, use it as a stepping stone to success. Remember, the most successful people are those who are not afraid to learn, to grow, and to change. Valid criticism isn't a setback, it's an opportunity for growth. In the end, the key to handling criticism lies in your perspective. We've journeyed through the labyrinth of criticism, understanding its various forms and learning how to navigate them. False criticism, a mere echo of baseless statements, can be ignored. Unfair and uninformed criticism, the product of misunderstanding, doesn't warrant our distress. Instead, meet it with a smile and continue on your journey. Then there's valid criticism, the most powerful of them all. It's not a boulder blocking your path, but rather a stepping stone, an opportunity for growth. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it propel you forward on your journey towards self-improvement. Change your perspective on criticism. See it not as a stumbling block, but as a tool for personal growth. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more content on personal growth and self-improvement. Remember, don't let criticism bother you. Instead, use it as a stepping stone to your success.